Hi friends, so I'm Shanti and I'm going to teach you your English lesson, and today I'm going to teach you your first chapter from 8th standard, that is The Mysterious Picture by Charles D. Custer. So let's look what is this lesson. This lesson has been written by Charles D. Custer. So before coming to this chapter, let's discuss 2 or 3 points related with the author, that is Charles D. Custer. So to speak of Charles D. Custer, or Charles Theodore Henry D. Custer, that's his full name. So he was born in Munich and was known as the father of Belgian literature. And why he is called as the father of Belgian literature? It is because it was he who had stimulated national consciousness and paved way for a native Belgian literature in Belgium. It is because of this reason he is known as the father of Belgian literature. So why Charles D. Custer is known as the father of Belgian literature? It is because it was he who had stimulated national consciousness and paved way for a native literature in Belgium. And his most famous work is The Legend of Ter Yearspanger and Lame Godsack. So this is his most famous work or his masterpiece work, and we can say that this work is considered as one of the classics in Belgian literature. So these are the most important points that is related with the writer, that is Charles D. Custer, known as the father of Belgian literature. Now let's come to this lesson, that is The Mysterious Picture. But before discussing the story, let's discuss the most important or the most difficult words that we come across in this chapter. So let's check from one by one, and let's start from the title itself. From the title itself we get the first difficult word, that is mysterious. So mysterious is the most difficult word that we are going to discuss at first. So what is the word meaning of mysterious? So mysterious, the word mysterious means strange. So mysterious, the word mysterious means strange. നിഗൂഢമായത്, രഹസ്യമായത് എന്ന് മലയാളത്തിൽ നമ്മൾ പറയും. The next word it is Archduke. Archduke, which means a chief duke. A chief duke. A chief duke. മലയാളത്തിലാണെങ്കിൽ പ്രഭുക്കന്മാർ, രാജകുമാരന്മാർ എന്നൊക്കെയാണ് ആർച്ച് ഡ്യൂക്കിൻ്റെ മീനിങ് വരുന്നത്. Next word it is descendant. Descendant. The word descendant means a person who is related to you and who lives after you. Okay, just like your child, grandchild, etc. So that means a person who is related to you or who lives after you. After you. മലയാളത്തിലാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ പിന്തുടർച്ച അവകാശി, അനന്തരാവകാശി എന്നൊക്കെയാണ് വേർഡ് ഡിസെൻഡൻ്റ് മീനിങ് വരുന്നത്. നെക്സ്റ്റ് വേർഡ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് chivalry. Okay, the word chivalry means kind, polite behavior, especially towards women. So that is the meaning, that is kind, polite behavior especially towards women. മധ്യകാലഘട്ടത്തിൽ പ്രഭുക്കന്മാർ ആചരിച്ചു വന്ന മാന്യമായ പെരുമാറ്റത്തെയാണ് നമ്മൾ chivalry എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. Chivalry has got another meaning too, that is valor. Valor എന്നും chivalryക്ക് അർത്ഥമുണ്ട്. That means valor means ധീരത, ധീരമായ പെരുമാറ്റം. സോ ധീരത എന്ന അർത്ഥവും chivalry എന്ന വേർഡിൽ ഉണ്ട്. Next word it is humb. Humb means a small round raised portion at the back. A raised portion at the round raised portion at the back. കൂന് എന്ന് നമ്മൾ മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയും. So humb means a round portion, a round raised portion at the back. Next word. Next word it is slaughter. Slaughter ആണ് next word. Slaughter means to kill a person, to kill someone, to kill, വധിക്കുക എന്ന് മലയാളത്തിൽ. Next word it is portrait. The most important word that comes in this chapter, that is portrait. Portrait means a picture or a painting of a person. It means a painting or a photograph of a person. That is painting or a photograph of a person. മലയാളത്തിൽ നമ്മൾ ഇതിനെ ഛായാചിത്രം എന്ന് പറയും. So that means portrait. Then next word, that is the most difficult word, is jester. Very important word, that is jester. Jester means a person who is appointed by king or queen in the court to amuse people with funny talks. That means a person appointed by king, in the court to amuse people with their funny talks, We also call them as fools. Okay, fools is another name of jesters or fools. So മലയാളത്തിലാണെങ്കിൽ വിദൂഷകൻ, രസികൻ, കൊട്ടാരം വിദൂഷകൻ, കൊട്ടാരം രസികൻ എന്നൊക്കെയാണ് ജസ്റ്റർ എന്ന വേർഡിൻ്റെ മീനിങ് വരുന്നത്. So these are the most important difficult words that we come across in this chapter. So we have discussed almost all the difficult words that comes in this chapter. So now let's move to this chapter, that is the mysterious picture. So this chapter, that is the mysterious picture, is an interesting narrative from the episode from the life of an artist named Till. So this story, that is the mysterious picture, this is an interesting episode from the life of an artist named Till. So we get that Till is the major character of this short story. So now let's look what is this lesson about. So the mysterious picture. So I said Till is a major character of the story. So Till is a painter from Flanders. So Flanders means it is a city, it is a portion in northern Belgium. So he is from Flanders. So the people from Flanders, they were called as Flemish people. So that means Flemish people. So Flemish means people who belongs to Flanders. They are called as Flemish people. So Till is a Flemish painter. So Till, the major character of the story, is a Flemish painter. So now let's see what is this lesson about. So till the Flemish painter comes to the palace of Archduke of Battenberg in order to search for a job. So till from Flanders he comes to the palace of the Archduke of Battenberg in search for a job. So at the entrance he was stopped by the commander-in-chief or the chief of the guards. So he stops, or captain of the guards. So the captain of the guards stops still at the entrance of the palace, and he did not give permission to Till to enter into the palace. But later, when the commander-in-chief or the captain of the guards came to know that he is from Flanders, he allows Till to enter into the palace. So why he is giving permission? Because the commander or the captain knew that Flemish painters and their paintings were in great demand in all over Europe. That means the commander knows that, or the captain knows that Flemish painters and their paintings were in great demand all over Europe. Because of this reason, he allows Till to enter into the palace. And then Till enters the palace. He sees the Archduke and presents his paintings, and Archduke was so pleased with the paintings of Till that he immediately appoints Till as the court painter. So this is happening in the life of Till. That means he becomes the court painter at the palace of Battenberg. So Till becomes the court painter in the palace of Battenberg. So now let's look what happens. So in the night, the Archduke arranges a grand party for Till and to the other members of the court. So in the night, Archduke arranges a very grand party to Till and also to the other members of the court. And while the party is going on, we can see that Archduke comes and says to Till that I want you to paint my portrait, because I want you to paint my portrait. Why? Because I want it to hang it on the wall of the palace, so that I want to leave all my memories to my descendants. So I had already said the meaning of the word portrait. Portrait means chaya chitram. So Till comes, so the Archduke comes and is asking Till to paint his portrait, so that he wants to hang it on the walls of the palace in order to leave his memories to his descendants. To leave his memories. അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ഓർമ്മകൾ ഇനി വരുന്ന ജനറേഷന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഓർമ്മിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ഛായാചിത്രം വരയ്ക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി ടില്ലിനോട് പറയുകയാണ്. So Till is just he is just groping what he says, and he thinks and he feels unhappy. So we can see that when after the Archduke says this advice to Till, he is feeling very sad. Till feels very sad after hearing, or he feels very unhappy after hearing this. And he says, I won't paint your picture alone, but instead I will draw your picture, or I will paint your picture along with the other members of the court too. Because I don't want you to look alone in your portrait. I want you to look or to shine like sun or to shine like moon surrounded by lanterns. So Till says, a court like this has few rivals in splendor, loveliness and chivalry. So in the midst of such valor and beauty, I will make my lord and lady shine forth like moon surrounded by lanterns. So I will not draw your picture alone. Instead, I will draw the picture along with the other members of this court and make you shine like moon in the midst of the lanterns. So by saying this, Till leaves, and the Archduke was so happy with this idea, he also immediately agrees with what Till said. So then we can see that the next day Till comes to meet the other members of the court, like the commander-in-chief, duchess, ladies, like that. So the first person that Till meets is the commander-in-chief. So he meets the commander-in-chief, and he was a short, fat, bald man with an enormous paunch. Paunch means belly, vayar. ഒരു കുടവയറുള്ള ഒരാളായിരുന്നു ആര് commander-in-chief. So at first he meets the commander-in-chief, and they had a conversation, and he says that I'm here to paint your portrait, okay, as advised by the king. So he agrees, okay, yes, and he says, the commander says, okay, when you paint my picture, remember you are to make me look handsome. So the commander asked Till to paint his picture in such a manner that he had to look handsome in that portrait. And he also says Till that you should make my belly flat in that picture. Otherwise, I will have you hanged. So by saying this, he leaves. So the next person Till meets was an elderly lady. So the commander-in-chief leaves, and then you can see that he is meeting an elderly lady. So this lady is having a hump on her back. Hump meaning, I had already said, that is schooner. So she was having a hump on her backside. So Till, again, he makes a conversation with the lady, and the lady says, okay, you have to make me beautiful in your picture, and you have to remove my hump in the picture, and I must be the most beautiful woman in that portrait. If you are not going to do so, I will turn you into pieces. By saying this, she leaves. So she is also leaving from the palace. The next person that Till meets is a young pretty girl. But there is one problem with her. She had lost the first front 3 teeth. She had lost 3 of her front teeth in an accident. So the next person Till meets was a young pretty girl, but she had lost 3 of her front teeth in an accident. So she also says that I have to see myself smiling in that picture, and you have to draw me like that. And she says, you have to draw me like that, and I have to see myself smiling in that picture with a pearly set of teeth. By saying this, she also leaves and says that if you are not going to do so, I will turn you into bits with the help of my lover. So she also leaves. So now next, so similar threats continued until he had finished with the last of the courtiers. And then the Archduke comes there, and he says, my dear fellow, I want your portrait to be perfect in every detail. Okay, you are to paint all my courtiers exactly as we see them. If you leave out a mole, a pimple, or even a single grey hair, I will have you slaughtered like a pig. So by saying this, the Archduke also leaves. So now Till understands his condition, or the seriousness of this matter. That means the courtiers wanted them to be painted in handsome or beautiful way, irrespective of their original appearance. If he is not going to do so, they are going to kill him. And on the other hand, we can see that Archduke wanted the courtiers to paint it exactly as they look like. So here we can see that Till comes he faces a dilemma. So this is a position. So he was sure that he is going to be killed from either one of these groups, either by Archduke or by the courtiers. But Till agrees with Archduke and says that tomorrow I am going to paint your portrait. So please show me my room where I have to paint your portrait. So the next morning we can see that Till comes there, and Archduke shows him the hall where he had to paint that picture, and Till began to start painting. But before he says to the Archduke that I want all these rooms, I want this hall to be, to be covered with thick curtains, because I don't want the picture to be affected or to be destroyed by flies or by dust. So I want this whole picture to be covered, or I want this whole hall to be covered with thick curtains. So and he also says that I need some 2 or 3 assistants to help me in this job. So the Archduke agrees and he provides till whatever he wants. So now the whole hall is covered with thick curtains, and there are many assistants for Till also. And we can see that Till began to paint the portrait. So he started his work, and for nearly 30 days, Till and his assistants for merely 30 days, we can see that Till and his assistants feasted themselves on the choicest dishes and drank the finest wines. Okay, since they are in work, they were happily enjoying their work with, choicest dishes and finest wines. So on 31st day, the king comes there, or the Archduke comes there and asks him, what about your work? Is that finished? So Till says that, okay, I need little more time to finish this work. And Archduke says, okay, if you have finished, okay, I'm ready to give you 2 or 3 weeks. And by saying this, he gives a fortnight. A fortnight means 2 weeks time. Okay, fortnight. A fortnight means fortnight. Fortnight means 2 weeks. So he gives 2 weeks time to Till to complete this work. So again, on the 45th day, the king arrives and he asks to Till, was your work completed? So Till says, yes, my work has been completed. So I am doing the finishing touches to this work. So I need some more time. So king says, okay, this is your last chance. I'm going to give you 15 more days for you to complete this work. And you have to complete this work within these 15 days. And on the 60th day and on the 60th morning, I will come to your home, not your home, sorry. And he says, and on the 60th day, I will come to this hall and you have to show me the painting. Whether it is finished or unfinished, that doesn't matter. But you have to show me the painting. By saying this, Archduke leaves. So Till agrees. And now let's see on the 60th morning. So on the 60th morning, Archduke arrives there and we can see that he's asking Till, I want to see your picture. So Till says, yes, everything is ready. But before showing you this picture, please grant me a favor. Please do me a last favor for me. So Archduke says, okay, whatever is your demand, I'm ready to do it. Please tell what is your demand. So Till says, okay, before showing this picture, I want all the members of this court to be assembled here. I want to show this picture to everyone at once. So the king agrees. So the king agrees with the idea of Till, and he calls for all the other members of the court. So the other members of the court also arrives there, and you can say that Till says, before drawing the curtains to show you this painting, I want you all to hear to my words. Please listen to me for 5 minutes. And everyone agrees. And we can say that here Till says some very special points, some very important points to all those who had assembled in front of the hall. So Till says, this is a very special picture. Okay? And the speciality of this picture is that only those among who have noble blood in your veins will be able to see this painting. So this is what Till says to the people who had assembled in front of the hall. That is, only those among who you have noble blood in your veins, will be able to see this picture. All the rest, whatever their rank or position, will see nothing but only a blank wall. So this is what Till says. And by saying this, he opens or he drew the curtain. And now we can see that all the members who had assembled there, they began to praise the paintings of Till. He says it was a very beautiful painting. The color combination that he had used was so nice. Likewise, they began to praise Till to their maximum extent. So Till was also enjoying. Okay, and so while this continues, you can see that immediately or in the midst of all these crowds, we can see. So we can say that all the courtiers began to praise Till to their maximum extent. They began to praise his picture, his paintings, each and the colors that he had used and everything. So while this praising goes on, all of a sudden the Duke's Jester leaped into the air and shouted, "All of you know that I am a fool and I have no blue blood in my veins. But let me say the truth, I can't see anything on this wall, but I can't see no picture on this wall, but I can see only a blank wall." So this is what he shouts. That is, all of you know that I am a fool and I have no blue blood in my veins. I can see no picture but only a blank wall. This is what the Jester says. So കൊട്ടാരം വിദൂഷകം എന്ന് പറയുകയാണ് എന്ത്, എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാം ഞാനൊരു ബുദ്ധിയില്ലാത്ത ഒരാളാണ് എന്ന്. പക്ഷേ എനിക്ക് ഇവിടെ ഒന്നും കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. നിങ്ങൾ പറയുന്ന ചിത്രമോ നിങ്ങൾ പറയുന്ന പെയിൻറ്റിങ്സോ ഒന്നും ഞാൻ ഈ വാളിൽ കാണുന്നില്ല. പകരം ഞാനിവിടെ കാണുന്നത് വെറും ഒരു ബ്ലാങ്ക് സ്പേസ് മാത്രമാണ് എന്ന് കൊട്ടാരം വിദൂഷകൻ എല്ലാവരോടുമായി ഉച്ചത്തിൽ വിളിച്ചു പറയുകയാണ്. So at that time Till understands that it's time for him to leave from this court, because now the people began to murmur, because almost all the members who had assembled there, they are also feeling the same thing. But they cannot open up their mind, because if they say like that, if they say that they are also seeing the blank wall, then what happens? The other people will think that they does not belong, they don't have any nobility. Nobility means what? Kulinamaya ആ ഒരു പെരുമാറ്റം, കുലീനത്വം എന്നൊക്കെ പറയും. So if they open up their mind and says that I cannot see anything on the wall, that means they cannot see anything, means they are not nobles, they have no noble blood in their veins. So fearing that they will be exposed to the other members, they all keep quiet. Okay, and they says that yes, we cannot see any picture. And they says that yes, we can see the picture on the wall and it's very beautiful, like that. So this is what is happening. So when the Jester opens up his mouth, Till understands that it's time for him to leave from the palace. That is, when fool begins to talk, it's time for wise man to leave from the, or to walk out from that place. That's what Till understands. And Till slowly goes from the palace by striding away on his donkey. So this is the story of the mysterious picture. So okay friends, I hope you understood this lesson. So tomorrow we will be discussing the other portion of this chapter. Till then, it's bye.